interesting set. It's all about customer experience. So I'm going to ask each of you the same question, all right? And I hope you will give me different answers, not the same answer. So it's going to be a tough one for each of you all. How do you view customer experience in today's quick commerce world, where time is of essence, where the customer is impatient? If he doesn't get the experience he wants, he passes on. Sujay, I'm beginning with you.
Okay, firing on right away. First of all, thank you so much. While we will be talking about customer experience, my voice experience is not the greatest, so pardon me for that. Yeah, I think it's a very important topic and a burning topic as well, because most of the FMCG and CPG players are now, today's in day and age, is looking forward to quick com as one of the levers for growth. And when time is of essence, you hardly have any time to give that kind of an experience. That too in an environment where you don't govern the guardrails, because you are at the mercy of the platform. The kind of experience the platform has created, the kind of UI the platform has created, you are at the mercy. Beyond the point, you are at the mercy of the platform. But I think as a brand, what you can do is create a lot of customer experiences pre the consumer landing on that ecosystem, because in today's day and age, it's technically an O+O behavior, where sometimes consumers are looking things offline but then ordering online, sometimes looking things online but maybe walking to a store and buying it offline. So if as brands we can create experiences which are more accretive to their experience for the brand which they have seen or which they intend to buy, that is where I think the magic happens. And especially when it comes to quick com as a platform, I think speed is of the essence. But again, you are at the mercy of the platform at the speed at which your product gets delivered. Most of the times what you can do is, if there are certain partnership which you can jointly work with the platform to give a plus experience. So whether that is in terms of maybe some kind of sampling, whether it is some kind of post-purchase connection which you are trying to build with the consumer. I think if those are the kind of levers that can be activated, that is where the long-term lifetime value of the consumer lies. Otherwise, it is just about the discounts and how fast your order gets delivered.
Yeah, hang in there, Anjali. I'm going to be asking Namita the same question. I'm switching between the two corners. So, you have a trade-facing front also, and you have a consumer-facing front.
Yes.
Apple does furniture fittings, you have appliances, you have a whole lot of other things which you reach, which you sell to consumers. So what does customer experience mean for your brand to the different constituents that you are addressing?
So because we are dealing in an industry which we get categorized in building and manufacture as an industry. We have 9 verticals, like few of them you mentioned. Our audience are B2B and B2C. So we have to be very coherent about the audience that we are talking to. For a carpenter, it's as simple as giving a toolkit, or as simple as him having the samples with him handy. That is the brand experience that we give. But for the customer and end customer, they both are customers. So when I joined Halfway, they are calling us, the partners also as customers. So I was like, excuse me, what do you mean by customer? They are like, even if he's a partner, we call him customer. So that is very clear for us. When it comes to end consumer, because Halfway is into...
Halfway or Halfway?
So as per the German pronunciation, it is Halfler. Halfler. But as Indians, we may not pronounce it rightfully. So it was a call taken ages back by the erstwhile MD to say that it's okay if people call it Halfway. So for end consumer, because the brand is luxury and premium, we would like the customers to experience the quality of it, the finish of it. And for that reason, we have roughly 15 design centers across country. So we treat places the audience differently. But we like to maintain certain things across the brand experience, the brand purpose, that is maximizing the value of space together. So these are our standard things that we like to keep it consistent.
Great. So now I'm going to move on to Namita. Because you have a consumer you have a consumer-facing brand and you have a trade-facing brand again. So what does customer experience mean for your company? Since your customer centricity is what you stand for.
Yeah, so customer experience for us is making the customer realize that whatever, see, because I'm coming from a B2B, again, I'm just reiterating what you said, B2B and the B2C space. So there are three principles that we live by. One is customer centricity is everybody's opportunity. So it is not just the salesperson or the person who's interacting with him on a daily basis, but it is everyone's opportunity in the entire of the system. The next is what we feel is whatever the customer might want tomorrow, we should be able to supply them or give them right today itself. So we are kind of foreseeing what he is wanting. And the other part is that customer, it's not just an experience or it's not just a product that we're selling, we're co-creating solutions with them. That is something which we have tied it to our brand also. We have positioned ourselves like the most innovative company also. So we kind of have many co-creations done with the customers. So new products that we brought in, the imports that we brought in is via this line itself.
Okay, that's on the B2B side. What about the B2C side? Because again, aluminum wraps are almost like a commodity.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't matter which one I buy.
Yes.
So how do you enhance the experience so that I choose Hindalco aluminum wraps?
Yeah, so we have a very clear-cut feedback systems also, and we take it very seriously. Any feedback which has been given to us by our consumers, even if like the B2C part of it, the fresh wraps, if there's a quality issue, the length issue, or even there's something which is really wrong with the packaging part of it. So we come back to them, we go back to them again and again about educating how good that material is, especially for the food. So we've even debunked many myths wherein they're told that like there are certain influencers who come keep telling that this is not healthy or things like that, but we do have a proper education policy. So there are a lot of areas that we come back again and again, so that we look into the feedback, we look at whatever has been spoken, so social listening and everything will come.
Alright. Anjali, now I'm moving on to you. Yours is primarily a B2B kind of a space where you're seeking clients from the media and entertainment side is where you come in, and from other aspects of industry. So what does customer centricity mean for you all?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting thing. And just addition here. It's not only B2B, it's also B2C in my world. And if I may have to answer what customer experience means to me, I want to get a small space in my customer's mind, right? That's what it is. If I can get into their subconscious mind, the job is done. And how you really make it happen is by virtue of all my friends have been saying, right? It's very, very important that across channel I'm consistent. And as my friend was pointing out, we are at the mercy of applications or platforms and tools, right? So we need to ensure when I am making a website, when I am making mobile application or I am making any portal, right? Have I done enough research about what my customer needs and wants are, right? Who those personas are, what their constraints are, what are the actual problems that I am trying to solve. Is that platform intuitive enough that somebody would want to engage, right? And actually completely purchase. Now we are talking about digital, but customer experience is not only digital, it's also offline versions as well, right? You go to store, you buy from the store, but am I able to remember my customer when the person goes and visits the store, right? And vice versa. Imagine if there is an agent sitting there, standing there and greets you, hey, thank you, welcome Anjali, you are our customer, this is what you have been liking, would you like to see this product? How great that is. That is personalization and so forth. So that's what me and my team, we all do that, right? We ensure that all the channels are talking the same stuff, right? And that's the true CX is all about, right? And in all that, there's something very, very important that you have to put a lot of empathy, right? And we all talked about empathy a lot since morning. But while you put empathy, you also have to put ethics in there as well. And then you have a true CX coming to life.
Explain ethics.
Yeah, so that's a great question. See,
ethics in itself is that sometimes you have to really figure out, right? Do I need to get a quick ROI, or I want to be very, correct in my doing, right? About what my product is all about. Am I doing the right thing for the customers for today and tomorrow? For example, today in the morning we were talking about, what media is doing, revenue news channels and so forth, right? There is a TRP and I get tempted, I want a greater TRP and I want to do everything that actually attracts people to come and actually see my news. And it is, excuse my bluntness and openness here, right? You don't have any entertaining things available on TV these days apart from your news. My mom ended up saying news is the most entertaining thing. I don't want to watch TV serials because a lot of fun and drama is happening there. What this tells you, you are giving wrong information back to the end customer and entertaining them unnecessarily with wrong information. And that's where the ethics comes into question. So as a brand marketer, as a digital transformation agent, I have to really take strong steps. It's okay to not get an ROI on day one, but I want to do the right thing so that my brand is remembered for the right things, not for the wrong things and so forth.
Thank you for that. Now, on to Durgesh. So, you offer a platform which does give a lot of information, data, as far as clients are concerned. So, what are some of the learnings you had about customer experiences based on this, the kind of services you offer to customers?
In addition to the platform, we also provide consultation services. Right? And across the plethora of accounts that we work, one single observation that we have seen is the customer themselves is on a journey. And there are multiple journeys that they are on in parallel, right? So every touch point that we are trying to engage with one particular customer, is it adding some value in whatsoever format, right? Like, are we giving them some additional information? The customer might be on a journey to procure the best product, right? Is that particular intervention adding any value to that particular journey? Trying and assess that. Because one particular customer might not just engage once. There's a journey where that particular customer will be engaging with the brand for 4, 5, 6 times before they convert it. Now, across all of these touch points, what additional input is there for that particular customer, which suffices the question that they matter to the company at the end of the day. Fulfilling that, identifying it, and then curating it, optimizing it is something that the platform helps in the brand's journey.
We are living in an omnichannel world today. So, what does it take to really be able to service the customer and give them the right experience across the omnichannel presence that you'll have? Namita, yeah. What is it that you need to put in?
Yeah, so the exact details that our customers normally want are either invoices or something like where the material has reached or the documentation part of it and things like that. So for us, we already have things like a proper Salesforce CRM in place, and then we've been trying to work on bringing more utilities together. So this itself is one place which gives them all solutions. They need not go everywhere talking about it or just calling up the people, what is going on, where is it, oh, I need this. So we're kind of cutting the those hassle as much as possible. So that is why that actually helps us in bettering the experience so far.
That's on the trade side, but what about the consumer side?
The consumer side is more of where do you get everything. So all that is a part of either in the wholesale side or the demand, things like that, or the store side, or even in the quick commerce and things like that. So it's not a problematic, but what we've done is we've started off with a QR code where they can scan things, they can get all the information, everything is mentioned in the packaging.
So Sujay, I'm going to jump onto you now. Similar, the same question.
So I think, especially in case of us as a brand and us as an organization, and in general, when you see CPG or FMCG as a category, consumer experience needs to be built across touch points. So when we talk about brick and mortar, when we talk about online, when I'm saying online, it's In case if it is a D2C, then D2C. If it is an e-com or a quick com platform, that also. One part which we are very, very clear and conscious about is that how we can create a seamless experience. That is most important, because if the brand manifestation is same or as much similar as possible across the touchpoint, it becomes easier for the consumers, because otherwise they get bombarded with 100 brands a day. So how you can be consistent across these touchpoints, and how your experiences are adding value. So Durgesh was adding a point about value. So there has to be a value exchange. Value exchange when a consumer is walking to a showroom. Value exchange when a consumer is walking, like visiting a D2C website. What is that value exchange? Is it something which is very, very easy for a consumer to find? So right from having your aisle management which is there, to how your D2C PDPs are being done. Everything is kind of an experience. And then when it comes to adding a plus value can be something like you walk into a, say, a shopper stop. You will find in the entire beauty section, you will find plethora of brands. You will also find beauty advisors there, which are being appointed by specific brands. So that becomes a first touch point with the consumer, because as a consumer, when you're walking in, there are thousands of options in front of you. So that is also an experience where a beauty advisor is aiding you to make the correct purchase decision, whether it is in terms of shades, color, fragrance, whatever it is. Similarly, if a consumer walks into a D2C website, which is a digital storefront, how maybe there is a AI chatbot assistance, or there are these hair quizzes, makeup quizzes and everything that you can do. Or a consumer goes to, say, an Amazon. There on the PDP page, is there a option for a virtual try-on? You can quickly open it on. With the help of AI, you can actually choose the shade or everything which is working for your skin tone, or which is something which you want to buy. So if you see, across these touch points, if you have managed to create some plus value addition things for the consumer, that is where this entire overall consumer experience comes into the picture. And when brands have to think about it in the long term, it has to be across touch points. It can't be like, okay, fine, I'll create some massive digital app or bot, something which is only serving that purpose. You'll also have to look at the offline store. You'll also have to look at places like an Amazon and all, because all these touch points are adding value to your business. So,
Mr. on the parlor side, you'll have experts, beauty experts in the parlors as well?
Yeah, so for our professional division, where we partner with a lot of salon chains, there we have hairdressers who are equipped enough to probably guide you with the best hair care regime or with the best hair coloration. There also technology plays a role, because if you have a say a scalp issue, there is a scalp diagnosis tool. If you just want to try a color, but because coloration is a very high involvement category, before even you get into it, there are these try-ons which you can like use via an iPad and all, and you can actually see how the color will actually look at you before you even get into that thing. So all those touch points have been created. Similarly, if you go to the website, you want to try the color, there are options for you to just choose the color which suits your hair type, hairstyle and all. So a lot of this thing which we have been trying to do at a global scale, and it's been almost more than a decade, and Modiface is the underlying platform around which we work. But we have been trying to create these experiences across touch points.
And you have succeeded to what extent? 40%, 50%, 70%, 100%?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
You've succeeded to what extent? Where are you on the scale of
success? See, I will not put a percentage on it, because see, it is a journey. Because if you ask me, we all are into this entire digital transformation journey, where we are trying to create these experiences. Long back, 10 years back, when we created these tools, the idea was to give that aid, and at that point of time, we were not even sure that tomorrow the consumer will be there on a quick com or an e-com or a D2C. The whole idea was to create that experience. So then that experience translated from a salon to a website to an e-com, and it is a journey. So every time we think that, okay, fine, we have achieved a 30-40%, there is a new channel which has opened up. So it is a moving goalpost technically in a way, but as I mentioned, it's a journey.
Very good. So is it a journey for you all? You're a multinational brand, Dutta, and you will be having standards across the world. How far have you succeeded?
Yeah, it is definitely a journey, and I think there are four key I would say there are four components to this for maintaining an omnichannel experience. One is data, second is system or technology, third is people, fourth is consumer. When I'm saying data, it is the kind of data that goes in the system which gives more insights and signals about this customer, the previous purchase, the current product exploration journey. When I'm talking about system, our technology, it might be CRM, Salesforce, and beautifully integrating across all verticals like the sales, service, and marketing. So that data is seamlessly flowing, throughout. After this, then comes people, because adoption is very difficult. The companies go in a transition phase and they move in this. So the stakeholders, the sales people putting in the data, the marketing people consuming the data rightly and making journeys, the service people also. And the fourth is consumer, who gets the outcome of all of this. So these are four components. The industry which has beautifully worked on this and gives an omnichannel experience is banking, because I come from the FSI background in Citibank. If you see, there is a software which has the same inputs of a customer. What is the current status, which product the customer has, what can you upsell, cross-sell. That software is exposed to someone in a branch, on a call center also, and in CRM also. So that system is beautifully integrated. Going back to my previous organization in Samsung, we had roughly done like an 80% of this journey, where I know this customer has purchased maybe a TV. Maybe after purchasing TV, it's been 5 years. Can we cross-sell him something? Or maybe he is showing a high purchase value. Can I cross-sell him a high-end device? So industry to industry, that journey is at different levels of maturity. But I feel till date, nothing as beautiful as banking I have seen. And like Sujay mentioned, right, before you say that you are there, there will be a new component added or a new ecosystem added. So I never feel that anyone is going to be 100% there. It's going to be
that was very profound what you just said. There is athlete in it.
We are in somewhere mid of a journey. We have system. Adoption is where we are working. Essentially with the sales team, because sales team is used to work in a particular manner, their Excel or whatever they have been doing. Migrating them, cleaning up the data and ensuring that it's not just a login that they're doing every day, but actually inputting the inputs that okay, I met a customer on so and so date. Next best action will be defined basis that. So I think there we are right now.
Great. What about you, Namita, in terms of the entire omnichannel strategy?
I think I will start with that.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I'm aging, you'll have to forgive me.
I'd actually built some pointers around Sujay and Birla here, right? Instead of so Sujay did mention Shoppers Stop. They apparently happen to be our client, and there are certain published case studies which I can be sharing with everyone here in this room. Now, when we have offline as well as digital channels, the challenge is the same customer is present in both these places. Idea is to not cannibalize one channel, but rather to have the holistic view so that you actually end up selling more. The overall AOV or the LTV of that customer increases. Right? Data sets, as Amrita was mentioning, if the data is incorrect or corrupt, challenge comes in the model that we try to build will give you wrong hypothesis, wrong assumptions, and wrong ideas to test, which at the end, the companies will end up wasting a quarter or so, and then eventually will realize that this is something that might not work in the long run. If we have data sanity in place and a single CDP, any platform for that matter, wherein all our offline systems, the POS channels, the digital channels, marketplaces, etc. are integrated, you can actually curate the single view of that particular customer and try and assess that the AOV, let's say on an offline channel, is upwards of 4,000, whereas on your digital channels is below 2.5K or so. At times you might also observe that the frequency is higher on D2C channels as compared to your offline channels. That gives you a sweet spot exactly how to target your customers, what should be the relevant experience. We should not be bombarding them too much because at the end of the day, if I want to push something, I don't want to push the audience away, right? I want to push my message to that particular audience. So the data set actually helps us build these models, and then accordingly we try to get or generate value for the business.
Have you answered, or have I forgotten that you answered?
You have forgotten me, right? Yeah. So this is very interesting. So I would not repeat what my friends have already spoken about, but want to give a personal experience. So during COVID, right? I think we were all the very first phase. We were all locked into our rooms, and absolutely have nothing to do, right? And we used to crave going out and then shopping. And so I'll give you my personal experience here. Every Saturday, Sunday, I had a habit of actually going to mall, have my Starbucks coffee, and then just roam around, do some window shopping, and then just get out. So Pantaloon, apparently, they knew that I am a frequent visitor, and during COVID, obviously, nobody is stepping out. So they came up with this interesting campaign. They used to call, right? And that happened after a few weeks of COVID was over. They would call you, they will tell you that, hey, there are few products, would you like to purchase them actually? We can do a video call with you, we can show what those products are, and then we will pass it back to your home, right? Isn't that great? Now, what are we talking about? Here, regardless, there is a channel which is a digital channel, there is a channel which is physical channel, right? What are you bringing here? You are beautifully connecting both the channels to tell who you are as a brand. The brand that values customer, who cares for customers, right? So that's how the true CX come in. Now, I want to add a flavor to this, which is, see, everybody talks about omnichannel, and has been a hot topic, right? But not. Even today we are saying omnichannel all the time. It is failing. Everybody is still trying to figure out, okay, I want to do omnichannel, but it doesn't work. Only because everybody within the organization has different objectives, be it CTO, CIO, CMO, and so forth, right? And everybody has a different KPIs. We claim that they all are at a transformation cycle journey, and they all have to be united because the customers are intelligent, smart, prompt, judging you all the time. But still, internally, if we go back and just remove the top line and then start going much more deeper, you still have these teams working in isolation and silos, right? So how do we solve it? You can solve it by inventing a role called digital transformation officer, digital strategy officer, and so forth. Even then it fails. Because any transformation is people, process, and technology. You have to communicate to the end people. You have to make your board understand what it means to transform something and what is the true CX is all about, right? And have CIO educated on the design thinking workshop. Have a CMO, obviously CMO knows it, but again they are actually bounded by the their ROIs, KPIs, and so forth, right? And so and all that. The moment you start training everybody about what design thinking workshops are and make them party to it, plus also assign a budget. Most of the time we don't assign a budget. When you assign a budget, then you start honestly working towards this true omnichannel experience. When everybody comes together, you define a strategy, you define what has to be communicated, how it has to be communicated. You don't buy 100 of products, you buy only few, you do coupling, decoupling, and you will get the story sorted. But we are still trying to explore because organizations are huge, with huge set of challenges, and there's still a question, still a problem that we all have to solve for.
Fantastic. Any questions from the audience? I'm going to give you a chance to ask questions. I have questions, but any questions?
They can tell us a product they love, right? They really want to repeatedly buy, or the ad they have seen, they call.
Yeah. Like Anjali said, any of you wants to talk about a product and be focused with your point. Can you get a mic for him, please? Because I have a question on artificial intelligence and machine learning, which they all are going to go through.
This is not a question, but I would like to understand. As Anjali rightly said, ROI, looking from day one. Now, if you're not looking at the revenue from day one, and panelists kept on saying, customer-centric, customer-focused, customer data. See, you keep on collecting data and data and data. One day you will find the customer is not live also. So you have a lot of data bank. End of the day, how do you generate this data into a profitable venture? I also come from a banking background, long career with the bank. I was into treasury, I was into corporate investments, mutual funds, and so forth.
So your question is?
The question is, how do you find ROI and at what point of time probably the company should look at ROI. Initially, I think what Anjali said, we are not looking at ROI in the initial phase, but over the period of time, we look at an ROI. So, as a customer,
she's understood you.
So,
at that point, can I ask one more question, sir?
But quickly.
Yeah, I'll answer your first question first so that I don't forget, right? So, and thank you so very much that you asked this question. This is great. The very first question that you asked, that we all have data, and we are collecting data, right? And we talked about, how pure that data is, data dump, data junk, and all that we talk about it. I always keep saying that while data is very, very important, but do you know how to use that data? Do you know how to visualize that data and create reports that really speaks for itself? Do you know how you have, I'll tell you why the problem happens, because the team collecting data are data scientists, data specialists, they are all programmers, right, and coders. You need strategists. You need people who understand human behavior, human psychology, and etc. When they see that data, they comprehend it very differently, and then they will be able to action it very rightly, and then you will start getting the returns. But again, having said that, ROI, the return will not come from day one. It is a cycle. It will take time. But most of the time, what happens, right, leadership, right, the board will say, I have no time, give me returns very quickly. The brands who want to capitalize or monetize or want to achieve returns the next day are the brands that you don't even remember. The brands which are successful have strategically planned their move forward. They remain consistent. They remain focused to actually get what people really want, and they then get into the subconsciousness of an individual, right? See, if you go to market and you buy something to, brush, right, to take a paste, there's something in your head, you always pick that. There might be others also available, but you don't even see it, right? There is some hard work that has happened, both from a product engineering perspective and also from communication perspective. That we got into your, we solved your needs, we solved your problems. When you needed us, we were there for you.
Yeah,
right?
Okay. Now I'm going to ask them, no, we don't have the time. We've got 4 minutes left. So let them resolve the AI and ML issue in terms of improving customer experience. Beginning with Namita. Quickly, this will be the last one.
So while AI plays in today's scenario a very critical role, in the industry that I am in, the customer has to come to the design center or to the partners end to experience the product, because the experience is about the touch of the material, like a soft push channel, so it doesn't bang. So for those experiences, he or she has to come. What AI will help you is maybe take the customer closer towards the bottom of the funnel, as much as possible, but that one physical visit to experience a product will still remain.
All right.
We all know that AI is evolving at a very faster rate, and something that everybody has to catch up at one point or the other. And I feel that, in my opinion, which we should have a duality in terms of, as what Amita has said, a design and an experience. So even if you design the strategies around the AI to be to give you a better experience of customers and all that, but at the end of the day, the digital part of it or even the physical part of it will always come, and that experience cannot be compromised in any sense.
Durgesh?
I take a few seconds here. Actually, AI and ML is something that's very core of our particular organization in this case. And internally we go by the name PS Black. And black magic is something that we are trying to do utilizing this particular data set. Right? So now every audience is exposed to, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 8 different channels. If I get a communication at 6 p.m. on my WhatsApp, that might be very relevant to me. But at the same time, if someone else gets an SMS at 9, it might not create that kind of an impact for them. So understanding the audience persona basis the data set that's coming in and utilizing the AI models and ML models for it is something that the team does. And that actually helps you improvise on the overall customer experience, in turn pushing them to convert more. Right? Second, understanding the overall life cycle of that particular audience. If I have multiple SKUs, the SKUs or the categories might not be relevant to each other. For example, if I bought a lipstick today, what shade of a sandal am I going to purchase 2 weeks down the line is something that humanly isn't possible to gauge. We can have some hypothesis around it. But when we try to observe the trend line, that gives you a lot more insights, and there are different kinds of models. We use propensity models, we use next best action items to actually come up with the recommendation of the product and the line item on the channel and on which we are going to target that particular user. So that's how AI has benefited our set of accounts for this time.
Okay, with the lady in black coming on stage, that means we've got very limited time. So, Sujay and Anjali, quickly, AI, ML.
Very, very quickly, and not repeating again what friends have said, AI is, if I have to say what AI is, you have to be intelligent to use AI, otherwise it's not of no use, right? And instead of being AI enabled, I would say you need to be AI intelligent, right? Because this is another tool, the way we all had internet, we need to know how to use it wisely. Now, how do we use AI in multiple aspects? We use it. I use it to challenge my team because it has given me power to get some questions answered very quickly, which team normally takes time to give, do research and come back, right? Having said that, creative production is actually getting empowered by AI. We actually can do a lot of coding issues can be identified because we build microsite websites, apps, and so forth. It can actually help identify issues very quickly and so forth. Now, storytelling, video creation, all of that can be empowered and enabled through AI as well. But having said all that, it is no substitute to your own pure creativity, because a good prompter is a good storyteller.
Yeah. Sujay, sorry.
I know we have run out of time. I'll keep it very short. From a CX point of view, I think it will be 3 things. Point number 1, personalization. That is where AI will come into the picture. So when the comms or the brands are reaching out to the consumer, it will be more one-on-one, where the brand will know it is Sujay and the brand will know it is Anil. So personalization is one point. Customization, because then Sujay's preferences and Anil's preferences, depending on that, those things will be given to the end user. And last point is industrialization, which is doing anything and everything at scale. So when you do personalization and customization at scale for a huge set of consumer, I think these are the territories where AI will play a role.
Fantastic. Round of applause to this panel for being so very forthcoming. I hope it's been useful. You'll have got some understanding of how they view customer experience in today's environment. I found it interesting. I hope you all did too. If you all did, clap.
For doing such a wonderful discussion.